coming up the elevator.
We got enough.
Lori.
We actually got 1 minute. Did you turn it on?
Yeah, I did. Now you have 19. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Budget Review Committee to order. It's February 25th, 2019. It's 7 p.m. and we're in the Aldermatic Chamber. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. President. Alderman at Large Laurie Wilshire.
Here.
Alderman Tom Lopez is absent. Alderman at Large Michael O'Brien is present. Alderwoman at Large Shoshana Kelly. Here. Alderman at Large David Tenza.
Present.
Alderman Jan Schmidt.
Here.
And our chairman, Richard A. Dowd.
Present.
Also in attendance will be Mr. Donovan from CFO of the school department.
Okay. Yes, we said Mr. Tenza would be coming in right at the exact moment. Very punctual. Okay. So, first order of business is public comment. Do you want to just wait till, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, may I interrupt you? Alderman Lopez has shown up at 7:01.
Okay.
Close.
All right. Batting 100. Okay. Communications?
None?
Unfinished business?
None?
New business resolutions?
Before us this evening is R-19-104, approving the cost items of a collective bargaining agreement between the National Board of Education and the National Teachers Union, Local 1044, AFT, AFL-CIO, Unit D, food service workers from September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2021. Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion to recommend final passage.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is for final passage of R-19-104. And here to give us an overview is Mr. Donovan, if you'd like to come up.
Good evening, everyone. The food service contract is slightly different than most of our other contracts. It's not funded by the operating budget. Food service is a special revenue fund, so it supports itself. Basically, it receives revenue from paying students and from the federal government, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, its food service program. It's about 50-50 as far as what they receive. We've been able to keep this program run profitably. We haven't had to reach out to the school district or to the city to obtain funds each year. So I think that's something that's important. The increases in this contract, it's a 3-year contract. 2.5% for each of the 3 years. There are steps for some of the people. So with steps, it equates to 2.66 in year 1, 2.62 in year 2, and 2.85 in year 3. Other than that, there really isn't much on the cost side. There is one more personal day given to people that work over 5.5 hours. This union is 100 people, basically broken into the cooks and then the food service assistants. Food service assistants come and go fairly frequently. We have a few that have stayed a long time. A lot of the cooks have been around for a while. So that's sort of a summary of the contract.
Okay. Are there any questions for Mr. Donovan? By the way, I also received communication via email from Mr. Mark, who's the president of the union, who supports this contract wholeheartedly, and sorry you couldn't be here this evening. Okay. All right. There's no questions. The motion on the floor is to recommend final passage to the full board of R19-104. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Mr. O'Brien?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, also before us this evening is R-19-107, relative to the supplemental appropriation of $50,250 of unanticipated revenue from Fund 1000, General Fund, to account number 43295, revenue from federal grant, into Fund number 7074, School Special Education Expendable Trust Fund. Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to recommend final passage.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to recommend to the full board final passage of R-19-107. Mr. Donovan, did you have anything you wanted to comment on this?
Sure. When we mention unanticipated revenue, this was truly unanticipated. I hadn't even heard about this grant when we were doing the budget for this past year. The New Hampshire Department of Education received funds from the federal government under it was called the Emergency Impact Aid for Displaced Students Program. So the state received $618,000, and basically what it provided was to assist with the cost of educating public school students displaced by Hurricanes Harvey and Maria. And so Maria caused, I believe it was Maria that was down in the Caribbean, caused a lot of damage down in Puerto Rico. So we did have some students move up to Nashua, get educated. Couple of them stayed. Most of them, honestly, have moved back to Puerto Rico, but they were in the district for about a year and a half. And so this was sort of a one-time revenue generation. It's $50,250. So I could truly use these funds in the Special Education Expendable Trust Fund because I do have an issue, as I mentioned before, with the out-of-district tuition. So this could come in handy come May, June of this year.
Any questions?
So many, but apparently this isn't the right forum.
Questions related to this particular ordinance? Seeing none, the motion on the floor is to recommend final passage of R-19-107. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Donovan.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip to Florida. Hit them straight.
Hopefully.
Okay. New business?
There is none?
None. Tabled in committee. I had a discussion with Corporation Counsel today. We have heard nothing from the police department and the union back on this, so it is still tabled. It needs to stay tabled. Okay, general discussion. Alderman Wilshire.
When are we getting the budget? Do we know?
March 5th.
March 5th, next week.
I think it's the 5th, yeah.
On election day?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yep. Well, whenever the meeting is,
Must be Wednesday.
yeah. I think we had to move it, so it's probably 6th. But yes, that's,
And you'll have a schedule prepared for us?
oh, all prepared.
Okay,
Way ahead of you.
thank you.
And I think you all got a copy of the capital improvements?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I was happy to see that the school department was recommended for their full 600,000 because trying to hold 18 buildings together with a Band-Aid is pretty tough. Okay, public comment? Nope, there are no members of the public. Remarks by Alderman, which I'm not sure is any different than general comments. But no non-public is needed. Do I hear a motion? Alderman Wilshire.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 7:09.
Oh, man, I missed 10% of the meeting.
That was a heck of a meeting. I just came from the police department. We went down to their shooting range.